Here's an old interview tape you've never ever heard before from 1995, in which Tom Araya talks about the making of Rain in Blood.
A lot of the music I knew, but I didn't know a lot of the lyrics, so a lot of stuff wasn't done.
Right.
So we went in the studio and like, here are the words. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you want me to sing them? So I'd stand there and they'd tell me how to sing them. All right. So I would do them, and they're like, well, can you be more angry?
Yeah.
So I just started screaming the words out, and managed to do the whole record that way, and it sounded good.
That's quite astonishing, right? Because Rain in Blood is considered to be one of the all-time greatest thrash metal records. And yet Tom didn't receive most of the lyrics until he was there in the studio. That seems kind of unthinkable. So what you were listening to there was Tom Araya speaking to me at Donington 1995. In the UK. Tom was 34 years old at the time of this interview, which I did for Kerrang magazine. As with all my Kerrang interview tapes, this chat with Tom has not been heard by anyone else apart from me since I transcribed it back in 1995. But now I'm going to share some of the highlights, specifically Tom talking about different aspects of Rain in Blood. Coming up in this video, you'll hear Tom talking about how he felt when people continually asked him if Slayer could ever top Rain in Blood. You'll also hear Tom's thoughts on why Slayer stopped playing so many Rain in Blood songs in the live set around the mid-90s. And you'll hear Tom's reply to the question of whether Slayer couldn't recapture the Rain in Blood sound or if they'd simply chosen not to. Tom's response leads straight into the band's apparent strange feud with Sepultura. Finally, as a special little bonus, you'll hear Tom's response when I ever so delicately put it to him that Slayer had a reputation for being a bunch of wankers. So let's get into it. Tom Araya in 1995. How do you feel when people keep asking you if Slayer will ever top Rain in Blood?
I mean, how do you feel when people say, that's the album you'll never top? I mean, have you felt like that's been a bit of a bugbear for Slayer?
No.
The fact that people are always saying,
Oh,
they'll never do better.
Yeah, it's fine with me,
Yeah.
But I think we did it on this recent one with more of the aggressiveness.
Right.
I think we were able to accomplish that on this one.
You think it's better than Rain in Blood?
I don't think it's better. I think I like the new record. I think it's got a lot to say, and the music is really good. It's a good. I like all the shit that we do, But that one record is but it's like I don't mind people saying that. It's like, oh, you'll never be. Fine, no one has.
Well, it's a compliment, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's a compliment. I don't, when people say that, I think, yeah, it's great, And I'm amazed that it's that whenever a record comes out, they try to. That's the one record that everybody's like, well, it's as good as this one. And to me, that makes me feel good. I think that's kind of cool, actually. It's a good thing. It's a good feeling, to know that, so that they take what you've done and they're like, well, is it as good as this? And that's kind of cool, I like that. It's neat.
You're not sick of talking about Rain in Blood, then?
Huh?
You're not sick of talking about Rain in Blood?
No, I like that record. It's a good record. I think it's great.
Tom and I were speaking at Donington after the band had played their set. It was a great set, but weirdly only had 2 songs from Rain in Blood. I mean, admittedly, they were great songs, and they were at the very end of the set, Rain in Blood, and of course, Angel of Death. But why didn't they play more?
Let's face it, people would be quite content if you played the entire album all the way through.
Yeah, but it would be a short set. We'd go out there, and in 20 minutes, we'd be done.
Yeah, true.
Everybody would be pissed.
What, drunk or angry?
Angry. Sorry, angry.
They'd be drunk as well, I should imagine.
Yeah, they'd be pissed and angry.
Well, you know what I'm getting at, basically.
Yeah, for one, we played the shit out of those songs.
Yeah.
We because they were so short, we could just throw them in the set, and they'd fill up time.
Yeah.
So you'd stick your nice, good songs that you like, and then just throw the Rain in Blood in there, and you'd fill it in.
Yeah.
They're short, sweet. We do 4 in a row, 3 in a row. It's like.
Yeah.
So we thought that we've done that enough. It's time to sort of let go of that record for a little bit and try to throw in some more songs. But I mean, it's like today we did the Disorder song, which is something we haven't done.
Yeah, that was a bit of a strange choice.
Yeah, it's a really strange one. I like the song though.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It just seemed like if you're on a festival, it's a bit weird playing a cover, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a short cover.
Yeah, that's true. Short cover.
It wasn't very long.
There is that.
So why am I going back to all these old tapes? Well, a few reasons. I do want to revisit my Kerrang past and kind of get it clear in my head because it was a huge part of my life for 14 years. After I left the magazine, to be honest with you, I felt quite burnt out on rock and metal. But now, as you can see from this YouTube channel, I've got very much back into it, and I want to share the highlights from my collection of interview cassettes. If you want to delve even deeper and hear all of my Kerrang interview tapes in full eventually, then join my new community that I've started for rock and metal fans. Just go to skool.com/metal and you'll read all about it. I'll also put a link down in the video description. Hope to see you there. Let's hear how Tom responds to the question of whether Slayer have not been able to recapture the Rain in Blood sound of 1986, or whether they had simply chosen not to.
No, we can. You know, all you gotta do is get Andy Wallace back. You know.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, we like to think that what we do is our own. You know, and we liked working with Andy. And Andy's a great engineer. Fucking, you know, he's awesome. But he's taken the sound that he's developed with us and he's adapted to other bands.
Right. Yeah.
Which to us was kind of like not cool. You know.
Sepultura here, are we?
No, well, that record it sounds a lot like it's a great record. I fucking sat down and listened to it, you know. So they're just sick of rag on them all the time, so I might as well listen to it.
I know.
So I sat there and listened to it, and it's a good record. The newest one, Chaos, is really good too, you know. But I mean, it's like, you know, we thought, well, you know, it's like you know, someone taking AC/DC's sound and, you know, and it's, that's AC/DC. No, it's not. It's a band. Oh, yeah, it is another band. And it's like, oh, that doesn't sound that bad. But you know what I mean? And I think it has a lot to do with the engineer. Not necessarily the producer, but the engineer that's working on the record.
Well, what is this whole Slayer Sepultura thing? I mean, is it? I mean, I don't quite understand. I don't really see what the problem is. I mean, you're both different.
Well, see, the thing is that you know what the thing is that gets us in trouble about shit is that we have a tendency to just say what's on our minds and speak the truth. And then when people hear it, it's like, you know, they get upset. And then they start like thinking, and it's like, dude, they asked me a question, I answered it. Mm-hmm. You know, you're a nice guy. You know. Yeah. We can hang out and talk.
You know. Yeah. You're taking advantage of.
Yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, we have a lot of respect for people, you know, but we have a tendency to speak our minds and are very open about it.
Have you met Sepultura though?
I've met Max. Right. I met him at what's that thing they do? It's a convention. Foundations Forum. I met him on that one occasion because somebody said, you know, I want you to meet somebody. I looked at him, I'm like, sure. It's Max. I'm like, cool.
When was this?
You're not mad? I said, no, I'll meet him. He's a nice guy. You know, he's a nice guy? Yeah, he's a nice guy. It's cool, I'll meet him. Yeah. We sat there, we talked. Yeah, what's up? We took a picture together. We talked a little bit. Oh. You know, but I mean.
So how long ago was this?
Jesus, it's a while ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, a while ago. It's definitely a while ago.
So, I mean, is there a Sepultura Slayer feud or not?
Not that I know of. I couldn't care less about it. You know, it's like,
right.
They're just upset at some of the things that we've been saying, and you know, I don't know about you, but when people grow defensive, there's a reason for it. You know, and you know, and when people talk shit about us, we never get defensive at all. We just like, whatever.
Yeah. Slayer seems to have a bit of reputation, being a bit of a bunch of wankers. If you'll forgive the expression.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
It's a very good reputation for being sort of nice guys. I mean, you do, I suppose, but Kerry and Jeff.
We're all nice guys. We're all nice guys. It's just that, you know, depends on who you want to be nice to.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, you know. And the people that usually are the ones that, you know, think we're rude and stuff, well, there was a reason for it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you get that hint, though?
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
So would you rather be trapped in a lift for 5 hours with Dave Mustaine or Max Cavalera?
Actually, I'd probably have a pleasant conversation with Max.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Max is of Latin descent. You know, so I'm sure he has respect.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course.
And so, you know, that alone is enough to, you know, be his brother more in a sense. So I could deal being 5 hours with him as opposed to any day.
I hope you've enjoyed this chat. If you want to hear it in full, then go to skool.com/metal. But if you want to stay on this channel and hear highlights from another interview I did for Kerrang back in the day, check out this chat I had with Typo Negative's Peter Steele. Thanks for watching, and please remain possessed by metal.